So I'm Dr. Dean Jones of Compassion Medicine, and I've been in the healthcare industry for around 21 years. I hold 2 doctorate degrees, and I've worked with physicians and other healthcare providers for many, many years and established those connections that enable me to help people around the world. And one of my biggest focuses has been on children with our current ministry with Compassion Medicine, but I've also worked in other areas of healthcare such as pharmaceutical industry with discovering and developing new medications for patients. So the reason that I got involved and actually started Compassion Medicine really goes back to a few years ago on a short-term medical missions trip. My wife had gone to Guatemala and was doing some medical mission work there and discovered a 10-year-old girl that we weren't sure exactly at that time what was wrong with her. She had some visual problems, and we noticed she had a lot of redness and looked like lumps in her eyes. We felt really bad for the little girl. We were told that she was being bullied in school. As you can imagine, for a 10-year-old, that's pretty traumatic. And so there was no care over there for them. First of all, this girl was from a very poor family, very rural area, no access to medical care. And I really felt God leading me to try to get this girl some help. And you might be asking, well, where in the world do you start with that? And so really, I actually got a doctor here in the U.S. to go over to Guatemala and to evaluate her. We had already done our research there in Guatemala and found out there was no one there that could evaluate this type of condition. So the eye surgeon went over to Guatemala, evaluated her, and said, yes, she has some tumors in both of her eyes. She will go blind in short order if she doesn't get some help. If you can get her to the States, I'll be glad to get her treated, and it is correctable. So this was very moving, and again, first starting out, not knowing where to start, it really all started with the U.S. Embassy and getting visas. It was a big process for that, as you can imagine, paperwork and waiting, and meanwhile I'm back here in the U.S. trying to get things lined up for surgery and coordinating all of that, and we're excited that, for what was potentially going to happen with this little girl. And I continue to make contacts there on the ground in Guatemala for follow-up after the surgery as well, which is very important. So this first case, if you will, of us bringing a child here to the States and getting the medical care was really where it all began, the passion for it. The outcome of that surgery was very successful. The girl had the tumors removed. She's back in Guatemala. She's seeing perfectly and has a perfectly normal childhood ahead of her. So this was a very moving, very motivating first experience for us.